ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا يهده الله فلا مضل له وما يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. I begin by praising God. We praise Him and we seek His help and we ask for His forgiveness. And we take refuge with God from the evil of ourselves and from the evil consequence of our evil actions. Whomsoever God guides, no one can misguide, and whomsoever God leaves to go astray, no one can guide. And I bear witness and testify that God alone is worthy of being worshipped, and that Muhammad, may Allah's peace, God's peace and blessings be upon him, is the servant of God and His final messenger. The religion of Islam can be explained under three categories or three types of ways of thinking about it. In fact, we could talk about Islam in many different ways, but just for the sake of ease and for explanation, I would like tonight, in my presentation, to talk about three aspects of the Islamic faith. The first is Tawheed, which is an Arabic word, which means literally making something one. But actually, Tawheed we could translate as Islamic monotheism. So I will explain what that is and I will talk about what that is. The second category is Risala. Risala is from the Arabic, which means a message or like a letter. So it is referring to the concept of prophethood. And the third concept is the concept of akhirah, which literally means after, but here it means the afterlife, the life after death. These are the three key concepts around which the religion of Islam is based. And there are many more details that one could go into, but if you grasp these three key concepts, then you will understand the essence of what the religion of Islam is about. So, therefore, let me launch into or go through some explanation of these three key principles. So let's start with the first one, At-Tawheed. Muslims believe that there is one God, that this universe has been brought into existence by a being that is powerful and wise, and that this being, this creator, is one. So there is one creator, there is one God, and the key concept here that is most important in respect to understanding the nature of God is that God is transcendent. God is not like any created thing. So the separateness of God from the creation is the key to understanding the concept of monotheism in Islam. The Quran tells us, "Laysa kamithlihi shay," that there is nothing that can be likened unto God. So whatever you could imagine, God is not like that. This is why in Islam there is a very strict prohibition on images, because God is not like any created thing. In fact, and most importantly, the greatest crime a human being can ever commit, as far as God is concerned, is shirk. Shirk means to make something equal with God. To claim that some created being has any of the power or the knowledge or any of the attributes, or to give to any created being an act of worship that should be exclusively dedicated to God, this is shirk. It means, therefore, to make partners with God, to make associates with God, or to make a rival with God. That does not mean to say, for example, one of the clearest examples of shirk is to say that such and such human being is God. Like what they would call Orthodox Christians would claim that Jesus is God. This is one of the most clear examples of shirk. That is claiming a human being who ate food, who breathed air, who was born and who died, according to, anyway, the Christian teachings, is equal with God. This is shirk, just as it is shirk to claim that Caesar or Pharaoh or Krishna or Buddha or any other human being has the divine attributes, not only to claim that the human being is God, but to claim that any human being has any of the attributes of God. So to claim that a human being knows everything is actually, even if you're not saying that this human being has created the universe and has brought into existence the heavens and the earth, but to claim that any human being or any creature at all, any created thing, has any of the attributes of God, is to make shirk. This is the greatest crime that a human being can ever commit. Because the Quran teaches that the very purpose for which the human beings have been created, the very reason for which this whole universe exists, is so that people may know God. This is the explanation that was given to the verse of the Quran that says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, which we could translate as, God is saying, that we have not created the human beings and the jinn, which is another type of creature, illa, except to be our worshippers. But Abdullah ibn Abbas, who was a companion of the Prophet, who was well known for his understanding of the Quran, he said that this ibadah, this worship of God, he said this means to know God. So we have been created to know God. So on the very base level, this is the most basic level, the first thing that every human being must comprehend about God is that God, the Creator, Allah in Arabic, just means the God. It is Al-Illah. The Arabic word Al means the, Illah means the God. This is what Al-Allah means. Al-Illah, the God. The being that should be worshipped. The Bible, which is written in Arabic, uses the word Allah for God. Jews in the time of Prophet Muhammad used to call God Allah. Christians who spoke Arabic in the time of Prophet Muhammad used to refer to God as Allah. It is the God. The one Creator who has brought all things into existence. So on the base level, this is the most basic level, we must understand that God is not like any created thing. God is not like anything in this universe. This is the inevitable conclusion of the rational mind, and this is also something we believe that is imprinted into the very nature of our being. Islam teaches that the natural disposition of the human being is monotheism. That the human being is naturally inclined to worship God alone. It is only their social environment that takes them away from that essential nature.